Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of my tuning into infinite potentials meditation. So I always say, oops, sorry, I was going to sneeze. I woke up a little snotty this morning. I always say I need to take a minute after the meditation to gather my thoughts, and I think I don't really need to do that. There have been days where I didn't know how to verbalize it, but I usually know what I want to say. It's just like, whoa, right? I'm actually glad I took that day off. Not because I needed a break, but because I think it made me more grateful of what this does. And that you see kind of like you don't know what you got till it's gone, right? Like, so I talked about in the other videos where I don't look forward to this, right? Like, I like the way it feels to see my future, right? But like, I'm committing to it, you know? And you know what? I was saying that because it feels hard. Because, like I said, it's not a relaxing meditation, like, as a whole. You do have to do a little bit of work to get you to that place. But, like, who doesn't? If everything was, right? If everything was easy, everybody would have everything they wanted, right? So I'm really glad I took that day off, because it does make me see that I do like it, because it is going to get me to a place where I can create anything I want. Now, with that in mind, it's interesting when I like doing these. I like doing these videos because, like I said, I did it so I can even see the progression myself and what it looks like to get your brain there, right? Excuse me, guys. And so this time, I felt like I was floating almost. Now, I did wake up with a headache, and that unfortunately was still there the whole time. But it felt like my arm was coming off my lap, and I just felt like I was just floating in the quantum field, right, that you're creating with your body is the idea of this meditation. And it was kind of weird. I knew I was here, but it sort of felt like I was floating too. Like I said, the only thing that was missing is I wish the pain in my head would go away, even for that 45 minutes. And I just let it go, and it sort of felt like this meditation this morning felt like I wasn't, make sure it doesn't sound crazy, I wasn't letting go as much as I thought I was in the other ones. And I realize I keep looking away, and I'm trying not to. I'm trying to look at myself and look at you guys. I wasn't looking away as much. Or I wasn't looking away as much. Nothing you say, whenever you think you're oh, I didn't mean to say that, it's never an accident. So I realized that I feel like I had let go a little more here, because when I was visualizing my first infinite, my first potential, sorry. My first one. It wasn't really about the thing I had been visualizing. So, like, excuse me. Um, when, let me put it this way. When people try to manifest money, like just money, like just money in general, not like, oh my God, I need to manifest the money to pay for this bill, otherwise I'm going to be homeless, right? Like people who just want money. It's not really the money they want. Like that's the thing, that's the tool, but it's the freedom that they want, right? To just do anything they want, whenever they want, to do the things they love, right? So I thought mine had been about this thing I had been visualizing, but that was just a thing I wanted to do. What was that really about? And I've just started, and I let my mind do its thing, right? And that just felt so good. It felt so good because I realized I was like limiting myself in a way, right? Um, you know what? Forget it. I was like, I'm trying to do it in a way to keep some like personal information to myself, but you know what? If you don't talk about it, right, it doesn't seem real, and it is real, right? Because I'm seeing it. Um, I'm visualizing moving to Italy. It just feels right to me, and I do want to go, and I would like to live there. What I had been visualizing is like that's where I spend the rest of my life. um, and yes, that's what I want. But I also want to travel to other places. I have so many other places I want to go to, right? So it was really about the freedom to do what I wanted to do. See where I'm going? See where I'm going with this? Um, so this time I got to see all the places I'm going to go to. And that was just like, it felt so good. And it was funny because even when I've been visualizing how I'd spend my time in Italy. What was I going to say? Even though I was visualizing the time I wanted to spend in Italy. Oh, I hate when this happens. Maybe they don't want me to say anything else. Um, I don't even know now. Anyway, so it felt. Um, oh, I know what it was. I was visualizing that. It was very emotional for me because that is just somewhere like it just feels like home to me, even though I've never been there. It's a part of my heritage, but like I've never been there. Even though it feels like home to me, it would be very emotional, and I would just like I'd have tears. Right? This just felt so not even, I guess, peaceful, I guess. Like it felt like nothing, and that it just like that was normal for me, right? To be going to this place, to be going to that place. It's been here, right? And I come back to the States and visit my family, and I do well, right? It just felt normal. It felt good, right? So, and for me, I feel like that means I'm on the right track. Not where it was not super emotional, that because that feels like an attachment. This just felt like normal. Like that's my life. It felt good. So I was happy. I was content. I was just here and there, right? So that just felt so good. So that was really neat. I'm proud of myself that I was able to do that today, this morning. My second one, I had started off the first like two, yeah, because I did it different last time. First like 3 days, I think, I was manifesting more like doing yoga properly, being physically fit in that way because I've had issues with my tendons and ligaments. Like, I was a dancer for 15 years. I started when I was 3, right? So my body's very malleable at that point. and all the way up till I was 18 when I graduated high school. And I was never able to do a split. Like, it was so frustrating. I can feel the emotion in it now. Like, I would practice all the time at home. And I found out as an adult, my mom said, my teacher had even gone to me like, hey, like, the other girls can do this and she can't. And so my mom would be like, she's practicing. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, like she is working on it. It's not like she's not doing anything. And for reasons I didn't know then, um, my hip flexors are very tight, or like, where my groin is, right? And that's probably like emotional trauma and stuff like that. But they couldn't stretch out that far no matter how hard I practiced, right? I didn't get anybody to practice. Maybe I wasn't practicing correctly, to be fair. But I was working on it, the way a lot of people work on it. And so I could never do that. And even now, like when I do yoga, like when I do downward facing dog, I've been doing it for years. Full transparency, not like, you know, continuously for years, but I have done it months at a time. It's not like intermittent. And I've never been able to get my heels to the ground. And so that's kind of like a weirdy, like, sensitive spot for me that I can't do this. Like, it does upset me. And so I wanted that to be something because I had thought about being a yoga teacher before. Not that you need to, like, be perfect at it, right? But that's just something, like, even just doing a downward facing dog, I just feel like it would feel so good. Like, it would feel like I accomplished something, but I think it would feel good to my body because it's a sense of release, right? So stuff like that, right? Like, and that would be like my business, and that would be right. So I was doing that, and then the last time, so Wednesday, I was like, that is definitely something I want, but something, it doesn't feel like aligned, not aligned. So again, sort of skirting around the core of my desire. You know what I mean? Like, that was something that would come from my core desire. So, when I had watched a video about someone that had tried this meditation, she hadn't done a lot of work like I had, like, meditating and mindset work and all this stuff. Excuse me. So she was like, I didn't really know what to like focus on, so she focused on just like her purpose, right? And I was like, you know what? Let's do that. Let me just say, what's my purpose? And I saw like all these things, and it's of course things I want, of course, right? But that was the core of like, what I was feeling and what I was seeing. I was able to feel exactly what it was that I was wanting to bring into the 3D reality, right? And so that feels more comfortable to me, I guess I should say. So that definitely felt like yes, because any of this stuff should always feel easy. You should be able just to let your brain go, and you're like, yes, yes, I feel that. That is definitely what I want. Even if the first several times, right, you do feel emotional because you're like, oh my God, that is really what I want, right? And that would just complete your life so much. But again, at first it's an attachment, I feel like, right? So this just felt like really good. Like I said, the only thing missing was that I wish the pain in my head would have gone away. So maybe that's a part of it, right? So I'm slowly getting to that place, right, where it's just effortless, and I just go there and I see it as it's coming closer and closer to me, right? So not bad. I do really like doing this in the morning, so I see that in my future as something that will change because so I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, but my during the week, I have to wake up at 3 a.m. to be at work. So I don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. I like waking up at 3 a.m. to have a little bit of time to get, you know. But I have to be at work very, very early in the morning. So I feel like that's something that's going to be changing, which I am all for. All for. So I like where this is going. I like seeing these changes, right? It's you're getting there and you're getting there and you're seeing the things around you in your 3D life that's showing you it's coming. Um, there's something to this. And then I'll say it again. I really recommend, highly recommend Joe Dispenza's books, even if you just read one of them, because he's one of those people like it's different. Like he's writing about some different aspects of what he does, but essentially all the core stuff is all the same. And it's just super interesting because he's able to back up with science, like all this stuff that people think is kind of like woo woo stuff, right? So it's just super interesting to listen to all the like tests he's done, like all the things he's been able to do with this idea about the brain. And it's just, I would pick one of his books, whichever one you're drawn to first. It doesn't really matter if you read the first one that he ever did, right? So just pick one and just go from there. And it's just super interesting because I think it makes way more sense until you get to the place where you can do that if you haven't had luck with manifesting. Because I do believe you can do anything you want to do in this world. Nothing is crazy, right? Nothing is crazy. If you want to do it, if you want to make money doing something you think is just a hobby you just do for fun, you can do that. There's no reason you can't. But I still like have that block to get there, right? So I think until you get to that place, um, I think sometimes we just need to see that it's real. For some reason, right? It's the human thing. We need to see that it's real. So, super recommend his stuff. Uh, today was a good one, so super excited. I'm going into work this afternoon. That's why I'm doing it now. So that's it for today. Good stuff, good stuff. I like where this is going. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope everyone has a super duper Friday. And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.